11 players, one ball, and a pitch the size of a city block. If you've ever watched football and wondered why certain players never seem to leave their half, or why some guy just stands in front of the goal doing nothing for 80 minutes and then suddenly becomes the most important person on the field, this is for you. Let's break down every single position in football, what they actually do, and why each one matters. We start at the back, the goalkeeper, the one player who gets to use their hands. Their entire job is to stop the ball from crossing the goal line, and they're the last line of defense, which means when everyone else fails, it's on them. They command the penalty box, organize the defenders in front of them, and spend 90 minutes switching between pure boredom and pure panic. A great goalkeeper can single-handedly win a game. A poor one can end a career.
Now, in front of the goalkeeper, you have the defenders. These are split into a few roles. First, center backs. Usually 2 of them, sometimes 3. These are your big, physical, no-nonsense players. Their job is simple. Don't let the opposition striker score. They win headers, make tackles, block shots, and generally make life as difficult and painful as possible for anyone trying to get near the goal. Think of them as bouncers. Their one rule, nothing gets past. Then you have fullbacks, one on the left, one on the right. These players defend the wide areas, the flanks, and stop opposition wingers from getting crosses into the box. But here's where modern football gets interesting. Fullbacks today aren't just defenders. They push forward, overlap with the attackers, deliver crosses, and sometimes score goals. In top teams, a fullback covers the entire length of the pitch in a single game. They're everywhere. And in the biggest clubs in the world, they might be the most underrated position on the field. Sometimes you'll see a team use what's called a sweeper, a defender who sits slightly deeper than the rest, covering any gaps and acting as a safety net. It's old school, but it still works. Moving up the pitch, you hit the midfield. This is the engine room, the place where games are won and lost, and there are several types of midfielder, each with a very different job. The defensive midfielder, sometimes called the holding midfielder or the DM, sits just in front of the defense. Their job is to break up opposition attacks before they even get going. They intercept passes, win loose balls, and protect the center backs. They're not the flashiest player on the pitch. They rarely score, but elite teams simply cannot function without one. If the striker is the face of the team, the defensive midfielder is the spine. Then you have central midfielders. These are your all-rounders. They receive the ball, distribute it, cover ground in both directions, and link defense to attack. A great central midfielder has vision, stamina, and the ability to read the game 2 or 3 seconds before anyone else. They're the brains of the operation.
And then there's the attacking midfielder. This player sits behind the forwards, in the space between midfield and attack, sometimes called the number 10 position, one of the most iconic roles in the sport. Their job is creativity, finding passes nobody else can see, slipping the ball through to the striker, arriving late into the box to score. The best attacking midfielders in history, Zidane, Ronaldinho, Ozil, were artists in boots. They didn't just play the game, they conducted it. Some teams use box-to-box midfielders, players who do everything: defend, attack, press, create, score. They cover more ground than almost anyone else on the pitch and are built differently, part athlete, part technician. Now we go further forward, wide midfielders and wingers. These players operate on the left and right flanks, stretching the opposition, taking on defenders one-on-one, and delivering the ball into the penalty area. The difference between a wide midfielder and a winger is mostly about how attacking they are. Wingers are pure attackers. They hug the touchline, accelerate past fullbacks, and either cross the ball or cut inside and shoot. In modern football, you'll often see wingers who actually play on the opposite side of their dominant foot, so a right-footed player playing on the left. This lets them cut inside onto their stronger foot and shoot at goal rather than cross. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's become one of the defining tactics of the last 15 years. Some of the greatest players in history, Messi, Robin, Salah, have built their entire game around it. And finally, the forward, the striker, the one who scores the goals, takes the glory, and gets the front page. The center forward is the main striker. They operate in and around the penalty area, hold the ball up, bring teammates into play, and most importantly, finish. Coolly, consistently, under pressure, with thousands watching, every touch scrutinized. They're the ones children pretend to be in the playground. There's also the false nine, a striker who drops deep to collect the ball rather than staying up front. This confuses defenders who don't know whether to follow them or leave space behind. It's a mind game as much as a tactical system, and when it works, it's beautiful.
Then there are second strikers or supporting forwards who play just behind the main striker, creating chances, linking play, and occasionally scoring themselves. They're the partner in crime. So to put it all together, 1 goalkeeper, 4 defenders, 3 or 4 midfielders, and 2 or 3 forwards. The exact shape, what's called the formation, changes from team to team and game to game. A 4-3-3, a 4-4-2, a 3-5-2. These numbers just describe how many players are in each line. But the positions themselves, the roles, the responsibilities, those stay constant. Every player on that pitch has a specific job, and the teams that understand those jobs, that execute them flawlessly and adapt them intelligently, are the ones that win tournaments. The next time you watch a match, you won't just see 22 players chasing a ball. You'll see a system, a structure, 11 roles working in concert, trying to outthink and outwork the 11 roles on the other side. That's football. And now you speak the language. If this helped you understand the game, hit subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.